Okay, now we are ready for the nuts, and today I'm just going to use sunflower seeds and flax seeds. So you start with your biggest ones. If I were using big nuts, I would probably crush them a little bit to make them smaller pieces. Then here's a 1 cup measure, just for sake of scale. There's my hand, and we filled it about 2/3 of the way, as you can see. We are going to dump in some of the flax seeds, and we're going to give it a little tap. That way all of the flax seeds will fill up the spaces between the bigger seeds. There we go. So that way we're getting pretty exact amount as for a cup. So we fill it up the rest of the way. It's hard to fill and to manipulate the camera at the same time. And in we go to the chopper. Alright, we got all of the nuts, or in our case seeds, in there, and once again, if we try to puree that by itself, it just ain't going to work. So we add a generous amount of the goop from before, just to lubricate things. There we go. That is good. And we put the top on. And ideally you want to hold it with one hand over the top to hold it steady, but I've got a camera in one hand, so I can't do that. Alright, there's our puree of the seeds and the goop, and we can dump that in here with the other puree now. It doesn't matter at this point because we're all done and everything's just going to go into our mixer at this point. Okay, we've got our KitchenAid mixer. We're going to use one of these paddles on it, and we put in our 4 cups of rolled oats. I'm not very good at this with one hand, as you can see, but in it goes. And now 2 cups of flake barley. You can use all rolled oats if you want. I just happen to be a beer nut, so you gotta have barley in just about everything. And now we're going to put in our goop. Actually, the goop's not going to go in with this attached. So, this is all the puree from the fruit and the nuts, and so on. All the dried fruit and the fresh fruit and the nuts. And I'm going to scoop that out with a spatula, but I would need a third hand to do that, so I'm going to turn off the camera. Alright, everything is in there, all of the puree and the goop and the barley and oats. And now we're ready to mix it up. Whoops, we gotta lift the arm and turn it on. Now, at this point, you can learn to judge whether or not you got to add some more oats or barley. My mixture does seem to be a little bit moist right now, and I probably will add a little bit more oats. So I had a little bit more of the apple and a little bit more of the dried fruit than I really want it to have. Alright, so I'm adding another 1/2 cup of oats. That doesn't happen often with me, but it's been quite a long time since I've made these, and I'm just going to add that in. Now, most of the ingredients we've used so far, at least over half of them, have been organic and local where possible. The oats and barley are local organic, the sunflower seeds are local organic, and the flax seeds as well. But we don't want it to be too healthy, so we are going to add a half a cup of chocolate chips and mix it up. So we made a double batch, and here you can see 2 cookie sheets for cooking our double batch. These are small cookie sheets. You can see about, let's see, 9 inches by about 13 inches. Okay, so we grease the cookie sheets with butter or margarine. So we pat it all down in our mixing bowl, and you can see I've divided it in half down the middle. I'm a little bit anally retentive when it comes to dividing in half, so I have my trusty kitchen scale to help me. Alright, here they are divided up. There's my scale. And including the pan, that is 1.436 kilos. And the other one, including the pan, is 1.476. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm not even going to adjust that. So now we've got to flatten it all out, smooth it all out nice and flat and smooth. I'm using a spatula to do that. You may use a spoon or something else. I like to get it as even as I possibly can, which only takes a few minutes of your time. So I just keep moving the pan and pressing it out as I need to. Alright. Okay, there they are, nice and flattened out. You can see just a fine job done there with my spatula. And they are going to go into the oven now. Alrighty. Now into a preheated oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, of course, for 20 to 25 minutes. Alright, now they're out of the oven and cooling. You can see they are slightly browned. We have them resting, the trays resting on cork pads so it will not burn the countertop. And we'll let them cool for a while, and then we'll show you the next step. Alrighty then. Now I'm going to put on my trusty OV gloves. Maybe OV Glove would like to sponsor me. These are just dandy oven gloves. And we're going to take one of these pans, and we are going... What are you doing? Here, hold it up there and do film. There, we're going to flip the pan over and just dump it out. There we go. Now what we got to do is cut it up.